It's that time, the Timberwolves and the Thunder, as we welcome you to the Western Conference Finals Game 5, presented by AT&T. Series back here in Oklahoma City, as the conference finals both now stand at 3-1 with the Pacers winning at home last night to take the commanding lead in the East. One of the great fan bases in the NBA, and what an atmosphere, a packed crowd at the Paycom Center. Tonight's access brought to you by Intuit QuickBooks. Here's Chris Finch. 18-year veteran Mike Conley is in the starting lineup for Minnesota. Talking about this building playing here, he said it's really tough place to play, and he's seen a lot of tough places throughout his terrific career. Meanwhile, the starting five, what a performance they put on to take this 3-1 lead after that 42-point loss in Game 3. And his crowd is just bonkers. I'll tell you what, though, the Minnesota crowd off the charts as well. We've seen throughout flurry from OKC as Minnesota's 1 of 11 from the field.
There will come a point where Minnesota's going to have to decide that they want to hang in, because the barrages are going to come, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander leading the way. Send it home, big fella. Chet.
Stripping performance brought to you by Duncan. RJ.
The MVP doing MVP things early, getting his teammates involved, getting downhill. That lob over Rudy Gobert, we mentioned it in no man's land. Here again, just a little floater. Randall not in the right spot to contest. He has scored or... OKC is off and running. Shai, he sees that man back, steps in, knocks it down.
Welcome back to the NBA playoffs presented by Google. Doris.
So you know when you're playing Oklahoma City, it's 48 minutes of absolutely relentless defensive pressure. And if you're going to make mistakes and tough passes, you're going to be able to fuel them. Julius Randle's going to make a back cut. You're bringing your defender and help into a tough situation. They will test you mentally. You've got to have some endurance. And already you see some signs of frustration from Minnesota. They've got to keep their composure. Richard, you say this all the time. It's a long game.
Chris Finch, though, kind of want to show a little fight for getting into a dominant first period. An early thunderbolt, and it's 26-9. Near perfection to start Game 5 on both ends of the floor. OKC trying to clinch tonight. It turns negative. Another timeout. Another standing ovation.
He's absolutely everywhere. I keep saying it. He's so engaged with the crowd. Give me some love.
Tonight's moment of greatness brought to you by Gatorade. Richard.
Alex Caruso is not new to this. He is true to this. This is what he is. He plays defense at a high level. He was SEC all-defensive team, NBA all-defensive team. He sprints back. This is how he eats. This is how he feeds his family, with playing a high-level bit of defense, playing the gaps, playing the passing lane. He is there. Watch the chest out, just directing him off of his path, doing so much at all points in time, guarding another player, pushing him off their line. That is so hard.
The Oklahoma City Thunder. 65-32. And as usual, so many contributors. Like by their big three. They're a half away from making the NBA Finals. Halftime here in Game 5. Thunder lead at 65-32.
The NBA Western Conference Finals, presented by AT&T, are brought to you by Google, proud sponsor of the NBA, and Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four First Steps. Welcome to the family. July 25th, only in theaters.
Welcome back to the Western Conference Finals presented by AT&T. Defense, always the key for OKC. And tonight, coming into Game 5, what will they do with Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle? That's what they did in one of the most dominant performances you will see. Tonight's Power Forward brought to you by Nissan.
And you watch, there's just so much pressure on Ant. There's 3 bodies, and he's still trying to create. Downhill against Caruso. This top shot led the league in 3-point shots made, and he's 0 for 5 tonight. He's really struggled in this series. He just can't get a clean look.
Julius Randle, every time he puts it on the deck, there is a swarm around him. He had 4 turnovers, relentless pressure, multiple bodies around him every time, and a great shot blocker finishes that play defensively.
But it's still a 30-point lead for Mark Daigneault and the Thunder.
ESPN Bet Sportsbook has you covered all playoffs long. Keep up with big-time matchups, get daily profit boosts, and tell exclusive picks from Stephen A. Smith. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Sign up with promo code HOOP.
Part of our Who's Enjoying the Limelight brought to you by Corona Extra, hiring Mark Daigneault, who's the G League coach for 5 years. Look at his first 2 years as the head coach of the OKC Thunder. 22 wins, 24. Then they took a really nice jump and won 40. Last year, 57 wins, #1 seed in the West. And this year, one of the all-time great regular seasons in NBA history. And Daigneault has talked about this. And we'll take a break. Minnesota trying to get back in, but they put themselves in quite the big hole. Tonight's value play brought to you by McDonald's. Richard.
You got to be a bad man defensively to get 2 highlight packages. But watch Alex Caruso. He's guarding Jaren Jackson Jr. Then he's guarding a 3-time MVP, even has a chance to fix his headband. Doing a little bit of everything for this OKC Thunder.
And then tonight, just relentless with his pressure. He does such a great job not letting the offensive player get their hips past him. Because once an offensive player's got his hips past you, you're in a lot of trouble. His ability to slide at the beginning of the possession and then sprint if somebody starts to get an angle. He is absolutely relentless on the defensive end, and he was just giving his teammates.
This crowd cheering all night long. They're now 1 quarter away from a berth in the NBA Finals.
So,
AT&T start a 4th quarter here in Game 5. And right from the opening tip, a domination by the OKC Thunder, something they've done time and time again.
The NBA Western Conference Finals are presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. And in part by Google, proud sponsor of the NBA.
To come as the Western Conference champions will be saluted and receive their trophy. Now they'll wait to see who wins Indiana, New York, which will be tomorrow. Well, the final score 124-94. Thunder win it in 5 games. Our producer is Tim Corrigan, director Mike Schwab, our outstanding ESPN crew. We can't thank them enough for their incredible work. Of course, for Doris, Richard, and Lisa, join us next Thursday over on ABC, Game 1 of the NBA Finals, right back here in Oklahoma City, opponent to be determined. Stay tuned for the Western Conference Champion Trophy ceremony after the break. We'll get you to Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt.
SGA. Scott, back to you in the studio.